Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto, I'm a photographer, and in this video I have with me the Ricoh GR3x HDF. This is the latest version of the Ricoh GR3 camera, and this one has one specific feature that distinguishes it from the regular GR3X. In this video I'm going to share my thoughts on that very specific feature. But first, a short disclaimer, this camera is not mine, this is on loan from Focus Nordic Finland. They represent Ricoh cameras here in Finland. I'd like to say big thanks to Focus Nordic for letting me borrow this camera so that I can try it out and share my thoughts with you. That very specific feature on this camera is a soft filter, black mist filter, diffusion filter. It has so many names, but basically it'll give your pictures a little bit of that soft glow. A regular GR3 and 3X, they both have a neutral density filter built in, two-stop neutral density filter built in. And just to be clear, you can also buy a regular GR3 HDF with the 28mm angle of view equivalent lens. This is the X with the 40mm angle of view equivalent lens. And shortly I'm gonna also talk about the upsides and downsides of both filters, and then you can hopefully decide which one is for you if you are considering either one of these cameras. But first I'd like to compliment Ricoh for making these rather niche cameras. I mean, even the regular GR3 and 3X are pretty niche cameras. They are not trying to please everyone. They are designed for quite a specific narrow genre of photography, street or documentary. And if you are not into that genre of photography, you may not even consider these cameras. You can shoot many things with these, like landscapes, for example, and many other things. But these cameras, they are at their best in street photography or some sort of documentary photography. I think it's really cool that we have these cameras that are not designed to please everyone. And this HDF model, this is even more niche than the regular GR3 or 3X, which is kind of cool in my opinion. The original GR3 came out in 2018. That's 6 years ago at the time of recording this video, and this X model came out 3 years later in 2021. So basically this is an 6-year-old design. It's a long time in digital camera industry. And there are some vague rumors floating around about the next generation Mark IV model. Nothing too specific yet, but I certainly hope that whenever the Mark IV comes out, they will not bloat this up with all kinds of extra features like a viewfinder, tilts flippy screen, weather sealing and all those. I wouldn't mind those features, but only if they don't make this heavier and bigger, because I really do like these cameras as they are. I wouldn't want anything that makes them bigger or heavier. And now a short sponsored message, and the sponsor is me myself. I have started a new E Zine. The zines are collections of my photos in PDF format. Each zine has a topic or a theme, and every picture is high resolution, so you can really zoom in for details. Purchasing my E Zines is the best way to support my YouTube channel. The price is very affordable, just 1 or 2 cups of coffee depending on where you live, and in return you will get something that you can enjoy and that will hopefully give you some inspirations and ideas for your own photo projects. So please check it out, I'll put the link down below. And now let's finally talk about the specific filter on this camera. And while I'm talking, I'm gonna share a few comparison pictures shot with and without the filter, so you can hopefully see what the filter does. That soft filter diffusion black mist filter is a small popular trend at the moment, has been a while actually, but I'm gonna say it right away that it's not really for me. I have never really liked those soft filters. Back in the film days, I used a soft filter for certain jobs because the client requested or wanted that kind of a look in the pictures, but I don't think I have ever used a soft filter for any of my personal work. But I have to say that in some pictures the soft filter really looks nice and pleasing. It'll lower the contrast a little bit and it'll give you a little bit of that soft glow in your pictures. But if I only had one shot, one frame, I would probably take it without the filter. And if this was my camera, I'd probably have the filter off most of the time. So it would be pretty much wasted on me, the filter. And I think the built-in two-stop ND filter on the regular GR3 or 3X is more useful for my photography. And now you're probably asking, why did he not shoot any nighttime photos? Because that filter is at its best in nighttime photos. Well, the reason is very simple. It's still summer here in Finland when I'm recording this video, and it's so bright even in the middle of the night that it's very difficult for me to shoot any nighttime pictures. There is one very specific situation where the two-stop ND filter comes in very handy. The top shutter speed on the Ricoh GR3 and 3X is 1/2500. So if you're shooting in bright daylight or any bright light, you won't be able to shoot wide open without the ND filter engaged because the shutter speed is not fast enough. f2.8 1/2500 is not a suitable combination in bright sunlight, for example. So with this HDF model, you won't be able to shoot wide open in very bright conditions, for example on a really bright sunny day. I have to say that in my opinion, a built-in diffusion filter is a pretty radical decision because in order to sort of take a full advantage of that filter or that feature, you pretty much have to want that filter in most of your pictures. Otherwise, that built-in filter is kind of wasted, and you can buy adapters on the GR or GR3X, so you can also mount a filter over the lens if you only need it occasionally. And I think the built-in ND filter is, at least in my opinion, so much more useful, especially if you consider the shutter speed limitation and other advantages that it can offer. But there must be many photographers who really love the diffusion filter effect. I think they wouldn't have even made this camera if they first hadn't done some sort of market research, and they probably received some requests from photographers for this kind of a specific model. So if you really like the Ricoh GR3 or 3X and you also really like the diffusion filter effect, then this camera might be just for you. It's not for me, but it might be for you. There you have it, my thoughts on the Ricoh GR3x HDF. And when it comes to the filter effect, these thoughts also apply to the GR3 HDF without the X. The only difference between these two cameras is just the lens. The filter effect will look the same on both cameras. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope this was helpful and entertaining. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.